All right, everyone, let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And if you are in a regular meditation position, you can make yourself a little bit more comfortable by putting a couple of cushions under either knee, and definitely be sitting on something a little bit higher, like you're, about an inch underneath your coccyx, just so it's just much, much easier to keep the spine nicely aligned if you are sitting on something. It helps to keep the pelvis upright. Otherwise, if we're not very strong in our core, we tend to just kind of sink back like that. So having something underneath your coccyx really helps you. So for those of you sitting on your chairs, feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. Really, you can feel the sensation of the soles of the feet on the ground in your shoe. Feel the weight of the hands in your lap. And your sits bones on the chair, the shoulders aligned with the hips and the ears aligned with the shoulders. And imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And imagine you're lengthening your spine, putting some space in between the vertebrae. And just go to the crown of the head and release any tension on the crown of the head. Relax your scalp, the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, even your eyelashes, the back of the eye, the nose, the cheeks, the area around your mouth, the back of the tongue, the jaw, the temples, the ears, the inner ear. Relax the back of the head. Relax the back of the neck. And allow your shoulders and your shoulder blades just to kind of drop down your back. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. Bring your attention to the breath sensations. Noticing the nostrils, the air flowing in and out of the nostrils, the expansion and the contraction of the thoracic cavity, all of your ribs, all the way around, and the rising and the falling of the belly. So in your single-pointed concentration meditation, you just can focus on one of those areas. Of course, you're going to be aware of the others, but just, you can mainly focus on the base of the nose, or the rising and the falling and the expansion of the chest, or the belly against your waistband. Be aware of any sound in your environment, just allowing all the sounds, the smells, the sensations to be there. And then notice what's arising in your mind. Just allowing all the thoughts to be there. Allow them to arise, to abide. And then they just dissipate. So rather than following the story and trying not to judge or criticize what's in your mind, and then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, and then those people you don't like so much. Just remembering, due to impermanence, due to our karma, these relationships can change, can swap places. And they're just like us. They're all equal, just like you and me. They all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So think, there is no negativity that we can't purify. And that goes for everybody else as well. So we create negativity with our mind. So equally, we can change that and create positivity instead. So this is such a positive way to think. It's also, impermanence. So what you woke up with this morning in your mind is going to be different to what's in your mind this evening. So I think we'll do this meditation for all these people of our life and for ourselves. And, for different people in your lives who are going through different experiences, people in this room, for Kimberly, who's turning up even though she's not very well and it's really late. So just think of all these people, and probably each and every one of you has someone in their life that you'd want to dedicate this for. So think like that. And then think, we start with this power of regret. We're applying the 4 opponent powers. So we're applying some resistance to our delusions. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for excuse me, for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech and having broken my vows. Because I don't want the future suffering. And then regret our delusions, our anger, attachment, and the rest. And this is the cause of why we harm others, and then think, I'm sick of this suffering. And then you think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we needing the Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this blissful, radiant white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past. And then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you. And the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them in the future. So we just make a strong aspiration to do this practice for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy. And this is where we basically take the medicine. We do the practice and visualization, recitation of mantra. So imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around, it enters your crown and pours into your entire body and fills you completely and pushes out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva dinapatita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva dinapatita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about other people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. And again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. And, you know, just the same analogy. You walk into a dark room, you flick on a switch, and the light comes and dispels darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachments and neediness and anger, bitterness, depression, grudges, resentment, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness, forgiveness, wisdom, and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So you imagine the nectar flowing down and flowing up, and then the light coming in. So you're purifying, again, a double purification of the very, very subtle imprints of the body, speech, and mind, and just eradicating them all. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe, vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Drita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Trita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without that, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So we need to, make a decision, have a determination, have an aspiration to refrain from harming. And so then be delighted, rejoice in your efforts for coming along here. I mean, it's not a super easy practice. It's not a particularly relaxing practice. And some of you are in really, in not so convenient time zones. So, and some of you are in the middle of your work day as well. So so much appreciation for your efforts. So just rejoice. And then think of something you want to work on. Make it simple, just a little thing. Even if it's just creating some awareness around some of your habits. So imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And then, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate a little bit on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there just for a moment. And just think that all phenomena, all the things around us, don't exist from their own side. That's what they mean by emptiness. So the way you view things may not be the way they actually exist. Okay. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Actually, I just realized we probably should do that after the chanting the names of Manjushri, but never mind. Where are we up to? Great feast. Okay. Great feast who takes the form of great desire, who vanquishes desire in all forms. He is great carnal lust, he is great bliss, he is great happiness, he is great joy. With great appearance, bearing forms supreme, with great complexion, marked by great physique, with great renown, great munificent one, his mandala voluminous and great. The bearer of the mighty sword of wisdom, the foremost goad for taming great afflictions, possessing great renown, his glory great, his brightness great, his luster most supreme. So let's just dedicate also for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, which is the reason we're doing that, chanting the names of Manjushri, and then for all of your own individual teachers. And may they all live long. All right. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love.